In the years I've been riding, I feel like I've made some pretty good memories. But when I look back, one memory always stands out. And that was my trip to Colorado. To properly tell this story though, I gotta start from the beginning.
This is what happens when you leave your bike in direct rain. Oh, London, tell us how your bike's coming along.
It's been about a month now, and the bitch just doesn't work.
At the beginning of senior year, my friends and I found these engines on eBay that you could put in your bicycle. We wanted to take them on a trip to Colorado, but we quickly realized that it just wasn't going to be possible, so we put that dream on the back burner for the time being. We ended up taking them on a 3-day trip to the Salt River, and although the bikes barely made it there, we were having the time of our lives out there. And it made me realize that I wanted to continue exploring and doing these road trips with my friends. After our trip, our itch to go to Colorado continued to grow. We ended up getting these low displacement motorcycles, and we would spend the nights just riding around and being reckless teens on them. I still remember our first trip on these things, and although it wasn't Colorado, we were definitely moving in the right direction, and it showed us that we still had a lot to learn. We outgrew those bikes pretty quickly, and we decided to upgrade. I got a Triumph Street Twin, Alejandro got an MT-07, and Gio was still rocking his Ninja 300. We started planning what we were going to bring and what routes we were going to take basically immediately after we got the bikes. There were also some repairs and modifications we had to make. Well, mainly on Gio's bike. And just like that, on an early September morning, we were finally leaving. As we headed east, everything felt so surreal. We were finally on the trip we've been dreaming about for so long. We made frequent stops, usually on the side of the road, to look at random landmarks or abandoned buildings. By the time we finally got to our campsite in New Mexico, we were all really exhausted, but still really excited. As we were processing the views from the day, we set up camp, ate some food, and then went to bed. We got up early the next morning and hit the road. We stopped to refuel the bikes and get some snacks, but around noon, we finally made it to the Colorado border. We stopped to take some pictures and then we had to hit the road again. We still had about 200 miles to go, and by the time the sun was starting to set, we had finally made it to Aunt Maria's house.
Hi gentlemen, how are you? Man, you guys pull up in style. I'm recording you so you can share this with your parents.
We spent the next few days exploring around Denver, and we even found time to go up Pikes Peak. Although the traffic did suck, the views from the top were amazing.
Here are the boys heading out.
Unfortunately, we had to cut our plans short. There's a snowstorm moving into Denver that night, and we had to rush to make a plan. We decided to leave around 6 p.m. and just ride west. Saying it was cold was an understatement. We were freezing. We had to take multiple stops just to warm ourselves up, but we continued to push on, eventually arriving at our hotel at 2 a.m. The next morning we had some work to do. We ate a quick breakfast and then we had to fix a flat that Alejandro got the night before. After that, we continued west. We were doing a pretty good job at this point outrunning the storm, but eventually it caught up to us. We kept pushing through the snow, hoping it would clear up, but it just kept getting colder and colder. We made multiple stops on the side of the road just to warm ourselves against our exhaust and clean our visors off. We almost got lost a couple of times too. But when I was at my breaking point, the snow ended up clearing up and we stumbled into a small town. Hours of riding in the snow really wore us down, and luckily we were able to get a little motel room in this town. Although it was still pretty early in the day, we ended up just staying in the room, cooking whatever food we could find, and just trying to warm ourselves. Equipped with our new rain suits, we left early the next morning, stopping to take some photos here and there. But eventually we made it to the Utah border. As I was on the side of the road dancing just to try to keep myself warm, a nice couple actually stopped and helped us take a group picture. We spent the night in a little town we were passing through, and it gave us time to fix some of our rain gear and just unwind for a little bit. The next morning we packed up and hit the road with Arizona in our sights. With the snow behind us, it seemed like it was going to be smooth sailing from here back home. Of course though, things never go smoothly. Gio's bag actually ended up catching on fire, so we had to pull over, put that out, but from there on, it was just smooth sailing back home. When I look back, that trip was awful. It was just cold and miserable, but still, it was the most memorable trip I've ever had. And honestly, I'd give anything to do it all over again, snow and all. I hope this video shows just how important it is to keep your dreams close. And don't let them go no matter how much life gets you down. And especially don't let people talk you out of them. Last but not least, I just want to say thank you to Aunt Maria and Mr. Scott. Without those two, this trip would have been impossible. Scott was the one who really helped push me to go explore and helped me find all these resources so I could get out and do all these road trips. And Miss Maria graciously opened up her house so we could crash there and be bums for 3 days. But yeah, just want to give a really special thank you to them.